Your page, you got to share. Yeah, I like that intro.
Like that intro? Wake up, welcome in. It is going down. Game Day 502. Rashawn Myers, Jay Has coming to you live from beautiful Shenanigans, 4521 Bardstown Road. Jay Has, we are back in the building. It's been too long. I'm so excited. We have so much to get into, so much happening. It seems like since the last time we were together, man, there's been so much happening. Thank you to everybody who's joining us live across so many different platforms, Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you guys are getting your questions in. I would love to answer any and all questions that you have. Shoot those in to me. Of course, I am the host, Rashawn Myers of 96.1 FM, WXVW, Big X Sports Radio. It is going down here on a Friday evening, 7:30 to 9:30, taking you up to karaoke night here at More Shenanigans. Super excited. Now is the best time to get it outside, get involved, get in, get you a chili dog, get you some of those wonderful pepperoni pizza you can think of in terms of food selections. And of course, going to be here for the next couple of hours breaking down all things in local sports. Of course, University of Louisville basketball is going to be a big part of the conversation tonight as we break down the first class of the Revival. Coach Pat Kelsey.
Why they call it Revival?
The Revival. It's because it's the revival of Louisville. So they just call it the Revival.
Okay.
You like that?
What you want to start first?
Oh, come on. I mean, what you mean? This is what city do we live in?
Louisville.
And what's the main thing that everybody in Louisville like? Absolutely. We got to get
song back in the day. Look what we can do. Louisville. Look what we can do.
I don't remember that song.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I remember it, man.
I like that.
Welcome everybody. We're here at More Shenanigans.
You should do it for karaoke.
What's that?
That song that you
what we can do in Louisville.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know y'all want to hear Jay Has do some karaoke. I know y'all do.
I'm gonna try that, brother. I'm gonna try. But I want to talk really sincerely, Lady Sean, because this been bothering me for almost about a week. And Stephen L. Smith.
Didn't you hear us? We said we was going to start.
I know you get. Let's get into
it. See what Jay has. Let me explain to you. See, like when everybody first pops on, they see the feed coming in. They want to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to get the hook. So you get the hook in into it.
You got the hand move.
You start talking about Stephen A. Smith, they're going to be we got so much. Absolutely. Like I'm very excited. Both the University of Louisville and University of Kentucky are going through big time transitions. Pat Kelsey takes over at the University of Louisville. Mark Pope takes over at the University of Kentucky. And, since we last were out here on this stage talking, those guys, had just taken the job, and neither team had a roster. So fast forward to where we are now. Where Louisville is in terms of building a roster, where Kentucky is in terms of building a roster, we see a much clearer picture of what both of these teams are going to look like, at least in terms of talent.
Well, Jay.
And I was going to ask you a question. So I'm going to pose this question to you, Jay Has. Is that as we look at it, of course, we know University of Louisville brought in a bevy of prospects, great backcourt prospects like Chucky Hepburn and Corin Johnson. You had Javon Hadley. You have Terrence Ferguson. Terrence Edwards Jr. Terrence Ferguson, NBA. Terrence Edwards Jr. They brought in some nice forwards. You got Abubakar Traore. You have big men like James Scott. Of course, you had the huge commitment of Kayshawn Pryor to go along. With several other big-time players like Noah Waterman and others, Lane Smith as well in the backcourt. What I wanted to ask you, of all the guys so far, because if you're out here and you're watching this and we will go into it by the groups. But I want to know, just for you, a favorite player, or you give me a guy or two that you are very excited that you want to see, because we don't know. We think we know what the coaches are going to do and what it's going to look like when those guys get out there, but we won't know until when things actually get going. We get the red white scrimmages and then into the exhibition season. But what players, or give me one or two players that you're super excited about?
Well, first of all, Rashad, I'm excited about the whole team that's completed.
That is absolutely a
I understand that, but it's kind of hard.
I really want to see that.
I want to see how they get up and do what they do, man. Just like we did a Kentucky game and Louisville game.
Okay.
I'm talking about Delahaye, how the way he was taking control of the game and doing it to Louisville.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Okay. So there's nobody that you're excited about. Now, at all these commitments, you had 13 kids come and commit to Louisville. None of them 13 kids stand out.
Sean,
okay.
When you play in front of that 24,000 people.
Yes, sir.
And that's a whole different kind of business, you know what I mean?
It is.
But I think this team here, how patient this basketball coaches and staff took into this transfer portal and getting this 14-man, what was it, 14-man roster?
13 man right now. And I think that's going to be where they end up at.
Where they going to stop at?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to be adding anyone else. It would have to be a situation.
I will say this for you, Sean, they're going to be awfully big.
Something shakes out the trees.
Look at the point guard. They're 6'6", 6'5".
Absolutely.
Woo, that's pretty big.
No, you got a big point guard. You got a big time point guard with experience in Chucky Hepburn. Transfers over from Wisconsin. That's going to be your floor leader. So you got to be excited about that. I know a lot of people are very, very excited about him. Since you didn't want to give me a single player that you're excited about, I'm going to tell everybody who I'm excited about.
Who are you excited for?
Honestly, Rain Smith.
Rain Smith.
And the funniest thing about that is that Rain Smith is a young man that did not, he came over as a transfer with Pat Kelsey from College of Charleston. He was literally the first guy to announce that he was coming to Louisville with Coach Kelsey, the shooter. The left-handed shooting guard. Yes, he's going to be playing over in an Olympic qualifier tournament over in Japan. With the team Australia. He's going to be a part of that. But I'm going to tell you why I'm excited about Rain Smith. And Rain Smith is not the most talented kid. He's not the biggest kid. There's a chance he may or may not even start. I personally think that he is going to start, in my personal opinion. But the thing that excites me about Rain Smith, he is the first, what I can consider to be deadly knockdown shooter that Louisville has had since 2020. And when you go back to 2020, there was two kids on the roster for the University of Louisville under Coach Chris Mack that Louisville had that struck fear in other teams. That would be Jordan Orr, okay, and we all know what Jordan Orr was able to do in Louisville. But the other kid that we had on the team, and the kid that Rain Smith reminds me of, is Ryan McMahon. Okay, and Ryan McMahon was a kid for Louisville that didn't necessarily always start. A lot of times Ryan McMahon would come off the bench. But let me tell you what Ryan McMahon does to a defense. Ryan McMahon was a dude that every time he came in the game, if you set a screen for Ryan McMahon, those two guys had to blitz him every time because they knew, if I don't come over the top of this screen and close this down, this kid is going to let it go from about 30 or 35 feet, and it's going to be money. Rain Smith is that type of shooter. Okay, so understand what that type of shooter does for your offense. Okay, I love the talent that Louisville has.
Well, let me ask you this, Rashawn, since you're talking about that. These kids have never played together before.
Yes.
And whatever style of offense that the Coach P is going to do, or what he's going to bring to the forefront.
Yes.
Just or not adjust, or how you think they got way too much talent?
No, I think that's the most interesting thing about how Coach Kelsey put together this roster and how he put together this group as a whole. Coach Kelsey did not just go out there and haphazardly just go out there and grab players. He looked for very specific types of players, kids that had some very specific types of stats and kids that had certain types of demeanors. He wanted kids that were used to playing in a team concept. He wanted kids that played for winning teams, and he wanted kids that had high assist numbers and very good assist to turnover ratio. Okay, and players that are highly skilled and highly motivated. And I think because of that, I don't think there's a such thing with these guys as too much talent. I think you have a bunch of unselfish guys that love to share the basketball. None of these guys came out shooting volume. Okay, so it's not like any of these players were coming out shooting 20, 25 times a game. You know what I'm saying? They're not one of those dudes that, coach, I got to get my shots up, to get my numbers. All these guys were efficient basketball players. So they're scoring, on 8, 10, 12 shot attempts. So when you have that, guys who don't need a lot of shots to get their a very good passing team. And that right there is what excites me. So when I talk about Rain Smith, it's not the fact that I expect for Rain Smith to come out there and shoot a lot, but when you have a guy that has that type of reputation, right, there's only going to be probably, in my estimation, 3 or 4 guys in his level of shooting next year in college basketball. Like, people don't really understand how good the kid is because he played at college at Charleston. But he's literally going to be one of the 5 best shooters in college basketball next year. So when you have that, even when he's not scoring, he's impacting the game. It's kind of like we talk about Lamar Jackson. When Lamar Jackson's on the field, Lamar Jackson has to, he has the attention of the whole defensive line. He has the attention of 2 linebackers and 1.5 safeties. Everybody's looking at him trying to figure out where he's going. So when everybody's following Lamar, that's leaving everybody else open. Okay? And that's kind of the way you have to look at Rain Smith. Terrence Edwards Jr. is going to have easier shots because of that. Chucky Hepburn is going to have easier shots because of that. Javon Hadley's going to have easier shots. Corey Johnson on down the road. And on top of that, Rain Smith is coming over from college at Charleston, so he's going to be that leader that really helps get the rest of the team to understand, the system, understand the culture, understand what they're trying to get done. So, I know it's funny to say because he's been the longest committed player to Louisville, but I'm very, very excited to see him out there because just Louisville has not had a dude like him in a while. And we've needed that. What's one of the biggest things that we talked about under Kenny? There's a difference between a guy that can shoot and a shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's 2 different things. Like, you can have guys that can make a shot if they're open, but it's different when you have an absolute sniper. And Rain Smith is an absolute sniper.
Well, the whole team can shoot.
They all can shoot. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you have a lot of guys who, in a system where you're passing and moving, that's why I say when I watch the Indiana Pacers, okay, when I watch the Boston Celtics, when I watch some of these other teams that are kind of a spread offense type of setup, when I watch the Denver Nuggets, those types of offensive sets, the flare screens, the down screens, the pick and roll movement, pick and pop movement, that's going to be Louisville's offense. So if you want to know what Louisville's going to look like, just watch the NBA playoffs right now. Like, they're not going to play and execute at the level that professionals can because they're professional basketball players. But when you talk in terms of style, when you talk in terms of pace, when you talk in terms of high possession type of basketball, that's what Louisville wants to do. Louisville wants to get shots off in the first 12 to 15 seconds of the shot clock. This isn't going to be a situation where what do we always say when we watch the team the last couple of years? Dribble the ball up, wait and dribble, pass it over here, dribble, pass it over there, dribble. Then you're up against the shot clock and throwing up a horrible shot because you run out of time. You won't see that under Pat Kelce.
One of your colleagues from ESPN and college basketball sports, Joe Goodman, said that Louisville is a top 5 conference team, but they said they're a top 10 basketball team. But he really loved this team that PK put together in this transfer portal, and he said this Louisville team can be awfully tough.
Aaron Torres, John Rothstein, Jeff Goodman, there have been a lot of college basketball analysts and experts that have praised the work that Pat Kelce did putting this team together. They love the way that he built the roster. He built the roster with a very specific game plan and put that together. And that's just something that we haven't seen with Louisville in a while. It is a game plan. You know, like going back when they say 3 years, I mean, Chris Mack, I always say it. Like the last year of Chris Mack wasn't really the last year of Chris Mack because Chris Mack really never coached that last team. Chris Mack was done. Okay. Like that last year, he basically just left it up to Mike McGee's, and Ross McMains to do whatever the hell they wanted to. Chris Mack had already checked out. He was already pissed off because it wasn't nearly been the food he did. He was done, and because of that, that was what that was the result. The resulting product was 12 wins, or 13 wins. I think it was 13 wins. This Louisville team has not had a head coach with talent and a game plan in a while. And not only does he have that, this is the most talented roster Jay has that Louisville. Yes, I know that the team in 2020, Louisville had one of the best teams in the country. Yes, they were a team that at one point during the season was ranked number 1 in the country. They were a team that was going to go into the NCAA tournament as a number 4 seed, maybe a number 3 seed, depending on how the tournament went. But I really do think that this Louisville team has as much as, if not more talent than that team. Top to bottom. When you talk about shooters, you have big men that are legit ball handling playmakers. Louisville's never had that. I mean, you've had some big men that can shoot, like Steven Enoch can shoot the ball, but Steven Enoch wasn't handling. I mean, Kayshawn Pryor is a monster. When you talk man, the Louisville guy. When's the last time you seen a Louisville big man, a center that can? I mean, not even David Padgett can handle the ball like that. Like, Louisville's never had that before, have they? That I can think of.
And I love that dog. I love them dog. Every kid on that team is a dog.
Yeah.
It's so funny when they got 2 BYU transfers.
Yeah, they got 2 BYU transfers. They have Ali Khalifa as well as Noah Waterman. Ali Khalifa is going to be sitting out this year. He has needed a major knee surgery. So it's expected that Ali will be out the full year. But yeah, they got 2 guys. No, actually, excuse me, they have 3 guys that came over. I apologize. They had Kobe Rogers. Excuse me, he came over from Charleston. He didn't come from BYU. But Kobe Rogers is also going to be redshirting along with Ali Khalifa. But you have those 2 guys that'll be sitting out. They'll be a part of the team. But once again, I like the fact that Kobe Rogers is going to be a part of the team. That's 3 guys coming over from Charleston that know the system, that know the culture, that can help with terminology and everything else. So you're going to have basically 2 additional coaches on the bench to be able to help everybody out.
Well, I got Louisville. This is Esmond Street way down.
Are you going to give us a prediction today? Zay has given us a prediction.
I have to, man, because Joe Goodwin was talking about it so significantly that top 10 program, man. They every position, Rashawn, they can ball. Hey, they can.
I'm gonna tell you, Jay. Like I would not put it past Louisville to go out there. I mean, I do think, and they've questioned or they've mentioned the fact they think that this Louisville team has maybe a top 25 roster. I think absolutely this Louisville team has a top 25 roster. It's not only about the talent, because yes, they do have top 25 talent, but they also have talent that fits together well. And that's what I like about it. They're a team that doesn't have to sacrifice defense. Not a team that's going to have to sacrifice size to go out there and have ball handling skill. Like they're not going to have to do any of those things. So they have guys that can do everything. And when you have guys that can do everything, it makes it so much easier, because when you go to the bench, if say Javon Hadley picks up 2 early fouls, you're not going to be worried about bringing a Boubacar Traore in the game, because he's going to take his man off the dribble and attack the basket like a demon. Maybe better than the guy starting.
I tell you one thing, after PA announced that Louisville's going to have a ball call. Hey,
if he needs my help, I am available. I know that UofL's going to have a new SID soon, so hit your boy up if you need some help. I've been working on them names all year.
But Rashawn, there's a lot of good basketball, college basketball, besides Louisville.
Oh yeah, Kentucky. Hey, Mark Pope.
And
we're gonna call Mark Pope's kids the Pope's Hope.
I told you about the Pope a long time ago when I first met you. There's too many things you can't say about the Pope.
Yeah.
He's just as powerful as the president, the Pope.
Yeah.
So I'm out of a shirt. The Pope just as bigger than the president.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kentucky's going to be tough. They're going to be nice. They got some nice transfer kids.
Yeah.
But this Louisville basketball team just really fits me where I miss it from that 13 team. And I look at that when they had Daniel Forrest, Kimbrough, they had Lancaster, Gordon Hill, Billy Thompson. I've got year what where their team was, but man, they were stacked.
Yeah, I think this Louisville team is probably like I agree with you. Some of those Denny teams, I think that the team after the championship team, not the team that won the championship, but the team that had Russ Smith and had Terry Rozier and all those guys on it. Montrez came back. I think this Louisville team has a chance to be as talented as that team. And you remember that team lost to Kentucky in the Sweet 16. On the big Aaron Harrison jump shot. But I think that this Louisville team can be that good. Now, this is Pat Kelsey's first year. I'm not going to go out there and predict anything. I know that y'all going to give me the side eye. I know there's UK fans watching this right now. UK fans, calm down, because I'm not predicting that Louisville's going to go to a Sweet 16. But I am saying that this Louisville team has Sweet 16 ability. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can make it or that they will make it, but it does mean they can make it. It's been amazing. When you consider the fact that, Jay, understand this. When you talk about the targets that Pat Kelsey made, he had to bring in 13 kids for this roster, okay, in a highly competitive transfer portal where there are millions of dollars being thrown around to these basketball players, to the best players in the world. Understand this. Pat Kelsey only missed on 3 players he wanted. 3. Okay? You had the kid Dante Moore, who ended up out at San Diego State, who was from Ohio. Okay? You had Jaden Quaintance, the freshman, the 5-star, that ended up out at Arizona State. And you had one other kid that they missed on, the big Osabor. Yeah, great Osabor. So those are literally the only 3 kids that they missed on. So when you consider the fact that people that said that Louisville's dead, people said that Louisville's broken, people said that nobody wants to play for Louisville, people that said that Louisville's fans are too hard on them, people that said any of that, Coach Pat Kelsey just proved that all of that was utter bullcrap. He did.
Did you see on a tweet where his budget was for transfer was $500,000? Like $500,000 he utilized of that NIL money.
Hey, that's
$6 million purse.
They put that money in the right spots. They were very judicious in how they went about it. I love the fact that they brought in an alpha dog in Terrence Edwards Jr., a young man that played for a very tough and feisty James Madison squad. That James Madison team, that Terrence Edwards was the best player on the best team out of that league. They went out there, they knocked off Wisconsin, they knocked off Chucky Hepburn. So Chucky Hepburn and Terrence Edwards know each other. They gonna walk in the locker room and be like, man, they got you and they got me? Oh, there ain't no way. So they already know what each one of those 2 guys can do. So when you bring in that alpha dog and Terrence Edwards Jr., you bring over a couple of very important holdovers in Rain Smith, as well as the big man James Scott. Rain Smith and James Scott. Then you bring and add that many very skilled pieces. You have the six man of the year, Corin Johnson, out of the Big 12. He's coming here as part of the group as well. Javon Hadley, one of the best defensive players in the Big 12, a 6'6" guard forward. They just don't have any holes. And, when you talk about complete rosters, that's why, I know that it's kind of crazy to talk about 2014 Louisville and say that this Louisville team can be that good, but that's the last team that I can really remember, Jay, that I can say without a fact. There were no holes on that team. You had Mango Mathiang, you had Montrez Harrell, you had every spot was basically filled with somebody. You had Chris Jones, you had Terry Rozier, you had everything. You had Russ Smith. I get excited because I've been doing this basketball thing. I've been doing basketball recruiting and scouting for more than 20 years. Okay, and I am big into analytics. I am big into the numbers. BasketballReference.com is my best friend. And when you look at these kids from an analytical standpoint, it is amazing. Pat Kelsey in his introductory press conference came out and made a point that he is big into analytics. Nick Nurse, the former NBA champion coach of the Toronto Raptors, on him. and basketball. He's, of course, Nick Nurse is now the head coach of the Philadelphia Sixers. But, you know, you can see how the analytics influenced the decisions that he made with this transfer portal class. And this was something that we talked about from the get-go. Once they made it about money, in terms of recruiting, like, we can go ahead and pour out a little liquor for all of those recruiting bag men. You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be that you had to have that coach that had relationships to go get kids. It ain't about that no more. It's all about who's got the money. And you know what? Some people don't like that, but I don't mind it, because these players, you know, have been making millions upon billions of dollars for these schools for so long that I'm okay giving the money out. And one of the reasons I don't mind it, University of Louisville is one of the most prolific basketball programs in terms of money and financing in all of college basketball. There's probably only 2 or 3 teams that can compete with Louisville financially. So when you understand that to be the case, you knew that once NIL became a thing, Louisville was going to. That was one of the things that always frustrated me about Kenny Payne, because, hey, Jay, what did we say? Kenny's got NIL. He's got NIL he can use. He's just not using it. You know, like, we're seeing Pat Kelsey go out there and pull 13 new players, you know, on this team. Why didn't Kenny do that? I mean, seriously.
And they said that Kenny was lazy. He didn't know much, didn't know anything. But Pat Kelsey did a month and a half?
55 days.
Okay, that's less than 2 months.
You know what Kenny Payne was doing in 55 days? If at day 55, he didn't even have his coaching staff together.
Mom bombs in the back.
He didn't even have his coaching staff together. He only had one assistant coach in the first 55 days. That was Nolan Smith. He didn't bring in Danny Manning until the second week of June.
Well, I'm glad that everything's cleared out and you move on.
Absolutely. I know. And Jay, I'm trying to move on. Like, I'm not trying to dwell on it, but one of the things that frustrates me, like, this is validation. This is validation on understanding what Louisville is. Like, Kenny Payne came in and told us that the program was broken. Like, do you remember that? You remember we were at the University of Kentucky game. We were at that press conference, and you remember CD what's his name? C.L. Brown asked the question to Kenny Payne, saying, like, how long is it going to take for us to have talent like UK has out there? You remember what Kenny Payne said? Did you see all those All-Americans? Louisville can't have players like that. We can't go out there and compete. Nobody wants to really play for Louisville right now. That was the dude that was leading this University of Louisville program. And how can you expect to succeed when your coach thinks you're a failure? When your coach thinks nobody wants to play for you? When your coach thinks nobody likes you? How can you expect to succeed? It's like I told my son, anything that you get in life, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Kenny Payne literally planned to fail. So when that's your mentality, you had no chance. And that's why it was never going to work here. And it's just unfortunate, because he is one of Louisville's own. He's one of the love favorite sons of the University of Louisville. And I hate that it had to happen like that. I hate that it went down like that. But you know what? I'm glad to see him go. I'm glad to see all of those players go. I'm glad to see all those assistant goes. They're all great people individually, but they needed a complete restart. Okay, and that's why when we talk about records, we talk about win-loss records. Nothing about 12 wins in 2 years. Nothing about 13 wins. A couple years ago and Chris Max last year. None of that has anything to do with Louisville. So I don't want to hear any of that. This guy, like when Kentucky fans talk about, get used to losing because we own you, we beat you, to 10 out of the last 4 years. Coach Cal is gone. Coach Cal is not on that sidelines. All them 5. So guess what? You're in the same boat that we are. Kentucky hit a reset button just like Louisville did. And on top of that, Kentucky got a worse coach than what Louisville got. So not only are you hitting the reset, but the coach at University of Louisville has way more championships, much more proven. So I appreciate Mark Pope. He was on the 96 championship team, but you know what? I like my dude a lot better. I'm very, very excited to see how it goes. So, I'm just, it's very fun to see that Louisville has this done. It's very fun to see that they have this roster done. I will say, I know I talked about the guard group. I don't want to understate just what it means to have Corin Johnson as a part of it. I talked about him a little bit earlier. The sixth man of the year in the Pac-12, was playing his best basketball as a collegian at the end of the year. He still has 2 years of eligibility left. I think that's probably one of the most understated things about the way Pat Kelsey put this roster together. Is not only does he have a team that's built to win now this year, but he also secured that Louisville's not going to have to completely start over next year. James Scott's going to have an additional year. You bring over Kenai Roos, the highest rated freshman still available in the recruiting class. You have Kenai. He comes as the very first freshman under Pat Kelsey, a top 40 player, a top 40 athlete. So you bring him over as well. That's going to be a long-term player right there. So there's several guys. There's even talk that, Kayshawn Pryor, that beast from South Florida, there's thought that he may have a second year of eligibility. He only played, I believe, a total of 8 games in his first 2 years in college because of injuries. So there's some people that said he may be able to get that year back. So, Pat Kelsey was just very smart. He was very intentional. He paid attention to detail. And I'm just very, very excited about how this thing is going to play out. So, I just... The revival is real. Can we just say it like that, Jay? The revival is real.
It's real. I agree.
It's real. Once again, just to reset, man, we are here at More Shenanigans, 4521 Bardstown Road. Come on out here. We have amazing food and drink specials going down. The chili dog is absolutely amazing. Miss Krista's back there hustling. You know what I'm saying? She's pulling double duty. She's pouring drinks. She's making food. The pizza is amazing. The buffalo wings are my favorite. Jay likes the chicken tenders and fries. He's like a little kid. He wants the chicken tenders and fries with some ketchup. Like a little kid. But, you know what I'm saying? They have so many great things here. Come on.
Great drink specials.
Yeah, great drink specials.
Right off Bardstown and Gregory's Lane.
Hey, y'all know what I'm about to say when I say this. They pour them drinks like you at the VFW. So you know what that means. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get you right. They're gonna get you right. Oh man! All right, Jay. Now we're not done, and I'm just gonna let everybody know we're not done with the Louisville breakdown. But I know you had this on your heart. You were talking about Stephen A. Smith, so I'm gonna let you in a little with that. You know what I'm saying? I cut you off at the beginning, but I had to give everybody, the breakdown. But go ahead, now. I'm out here.
That's my Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you totally, man. B- on that.
B-? Yeah. In terms of the
whole overall.
Okay, the B-? Yeah. I give B+. I give a B+, A-.
B+. Stephen L. Smith from ESPN.
Yes.
Why is it that he's always in the mess?
Stephen A. Smith likes drama. He's a drama queen. Yeah. You know this about Stephen A. So what does Stephen A. do that has annoyed you so greatly?
Well, he talks about, LeBron James brought it up.
Yes.
About this young lady that went to the women NBA.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes. And Stephen A. Smith was just talking about, he talked about how he was on board with LeBron James and that. Then he talked about Draymond Green, talking about he may be a hater and didn't feel him and all of those type stuff, Draymond Green, but that was all alive and blah. But Draymond Green is kind of a special kind of guy.
Draymond Green is crazy.
Mentally, cuckoo with Fruity Pebbles.
Well, I mean, the dude he's been suspended so many times. He was talking about throwing him out of the NBA.
I agree with that. He's actually bipolar.
I don't know what Draymond's issue is. I mean, for all accounts and purposes, he's a pretty smart dude. You know what I'm saying? He graduated top of his class at Michigan State, so he ain't no dummy. But I don't know what his issue is. Maybe he's kind of like Dennis Rodman.
Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, and Charles Barkley was riding on LeBron James' coattail about what that the continuity that she brings to the women NBA.
Yeah.
she's brought a lot to the women NBA.
Oh yeah,
There's other women who did so much before her that did a lot, but not like this young lady here today.
no, I agree with you. Look, and I look at it like this. Caitlin Clark is good for business.
Riding around on private jets. Didn't have that at first, did you?
No, not at all. I mean, and that's the thing these women got to understand is that she's good for business. So I don't have any issue. Like people are talking about, oh, look at how hard they're fouling her, and look at how mean they're being. They knocking on the ground and don't want to help her up. Let me tell you something. This is still basketball. Like if this was a guy and this is a man coming to the NBA and people knocked him down, would they have anything to say, Jay, about him knocking somebody to the floor, knocking them upside the head, pushing them, everything else? No. Like to me, it's more disrespectful the fact that Caitlin Clark is a female, so now you can't be rough with her. Like to me, that does a disservice to women's basketball. Like I don't mind the fact that these women are coming out there and being very physical, they're being very tough, they're being very aggressive. That's what they're supposed to do. She's a rookie, okay? So a rookie's going to get that work. But the problem is the fact that these women are coming out after games and hating. And that is where I agree with Stephen A. That's where I agree with LeBron. That's where I agree with Charles Barkley. And I don't say that much because those are three dudes that I can't stand. But I will agree. Like, the fact that you're coming out and, like, vocally saying negative things about her and talking about, oh, she's only getting this coverage because of this. So she's only getting this because, you know, how she looks and all that stuff. Like, that hating right there is what you don't need. Like, I don't mind the physical play. I don't mind them being aggressive. I mean, she's the new star. She thinks she's going to come in dropping 40. Okay, she's going to learn something different. It's a different level of athleticism. You're not going to come out and do that. So I don't mind the physical play. What I mind is all the talking in the cameras because that's doing a disservice to everybody. You're cutting off your own nose to spite your face. Like, nothing good comes out of you hating on Caitlin Clark. Nothing. Like literally nothing good comes out of that. So yeah. I mean that's where my issue is, Jay.
She's tough, man. I like how the way she plays, and she plays hard.
Yeah.
She's gonna shoot your eyes out if you're open.
Hey, she's ranked in the top 15 scorers in the WNBA and in the top 10 in assists, and that is coming off just finishing a full season of college basketball. Yeah. So like she hasn't even had the time to rush. She really hasn't had a lot of time to practice. She hasn't had a lot of time to think. I mean, she goes straight. She played to the very last game of the women's college basketball season. Yeah, right into the WNBA. What, in 3 or 4 weeks? Yeah. You know, I mean, so she hasn't had any time to rest. So I would say that she's doing pretty well. You know, Caitlin Clark is a very talented player. Is she the best player in the league? No. Is she the greatest college basketball, women's college basketball player of all time? Absolutely not.
Right.
Like, no. But she's a very good player. She's one of the best players of all time. So, you know, you can't hate on that. But, you know, I will say that, to me, let the competition speak for you. You know, go out there, play hard, keep it between the lines, and just stay off the microphone. Like Angel Reese sent out tweets talking about, you know, people are following me because of what my team does. Like, this stuff, like, you sound real good and petty. That's not petty.
You got all little things you got going on.
I mean, yeah, it's all about clicks. It's all about attention. You know, I mean, we understand what it's about, but I just don't think it serves a good purpose. Yeah. I mean, people are watching the WNBA. People are watching women's basketball. They're paying more attention. You know, Caitlin Clark is selling out every arena she goes to. Like, that's good for business. That's good for everybody. And if business is good, that means you make more money. So, you know, I don't understand that part of it.
I just want to ask you this real quick. You talked about basketball.
Yes, sir.
Just slide into third base to home base. And you talked about the deal with Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
He's going to be still at Cleveland. He's going to the Lakers. What's he going to do? He got 2 more years on his contract. So what is Donovan going to do?
Hey, okay. First of all, I know. You remember how we used to give the Big Turkey Award? We used to give the Big Turkey Award. I want to give the Big Turkey Award to the Cleveland Cavaliers front office and management. And I'm giving them the Big Turkey Award because Cleveland just fired BJ Bickerstaff, their head coach. series win without LeBron James since 1993. So literally, the franchise of Cleveland had not won a playoff series without LeBron in 30 years. So they get that done this year. They go out there, they get the win. Donovan Mitchell's part of it. Darius Garland's part of it. Jared Allen, all the guys. And they fire BJ Bickerstaff. And the thing I don't like about it is the fact that they fire BJ Bickerstaff, and then you know what they immediately do, Jay? They try to basically, they didn't come out and say it, but they basically tried to put it out there through hearsay that they fired him because them firing Bickerstaff makes it a better chance that they'll be able to keep Donovan Mitchell. So basically, they're blaming Donovan Mitchell, saying Donovan wanted him fired. And I don't like that. Like I don't like what it says about the organization. I don't like the thing that they're trying to put on Donovan, because now you're making Donovan look like a coach killer, like a malcontent, like somebody who's
LeBron James.
Yeah, like LeBron James changes coaches like he changes underwear. Yeah. Like he just does. Like he's got. I think they're going to fire Darvin Ham this year. Like they already looking for a head coach. I think they said JJ Redick's up next on The Price Is Right. Yeah. So to me, I just don't like what they're trying to say. I don't like what they're trying to. I just put out there in the public eye. That's a big, to me, this is what I'd say. If I'm Donovan Mitchell, Jay, I'm not, because right now Donovan Mitchell has on the table a supermax deal, 4 years, $208 million. That is $52.5 million per season that Donovan Mitchell has on the table from Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, $52 million per year. Okay, that's nothing to sneeze at. Okay, that is a humongous payday. But if I'm Donovan Mitchell, I go ahead, I play my last season, because this will be his contract year coming up this year. Okay, so if Donovan does not sign a new contract, he becomes an unrestricted free agent next year. Next offseason, he can go anywhere he wants to. Okay, the reason that the Cleveland Cavaliers made these moves are because they're trying to do whatever they can to just tell Donovan, look, we'll let you pick the coach you want, we'll let you pick the players you want. We'll basically just give you complete control of the organization if you stay. But if I'm Donovan Mitchell, I am not going to sign a 4-year deal.
Really?
No. I know it's a lot of money, but he can get a bigger deal next year. And he can get, 4, 5, 6 years if he wants it next year. I mean, he's still going to make $47-48 million this upcoming season. So, I mean, he's still going to make a pretty buck. And you don't have to lock yourself in for 4 years to Cleveland. Because Donovan Mitchell, the one thing that Donovan Mitchell has not been able to do yet, he's never become a free agent. He's never been able to go where he wanted to go. Everybody knows that when he left the Utah Jazz, where did he want to go?
Where does he want to go?
He wanted to go to New York. He wanted to be a Knick.
Okay.
He wanted to go there. He wanted to go there and be there with Brunson and have him and Brunson in the backcourt and do their thing. He was not able to do that. They weren't able to get a deal done with New York, so he ends up with Cleveland because Cleveland gave the Cavaliers the best, gave the Jazz the best deal. So to me, rather than having to have a big contract and have to go working through negotiating a deal and all this other stuff, you know what? Don't sign. Now, I will tell everybody, if Donovan does not sign that contract, what that likely means is Donovan Mitchell is going to more than likely be traded. Because the Cleveland Cavaliers, at that point, have to trade Donovan Mitchell so they can at least get some value back for him before they lose him for nothing. So I do think that if Donovan Mitchell does not sign an extension, that more than likely he ends up on the trade block. And then Cleveland will look to re-sign Darius Garland and move forward with, Allen and the rest of those guys. But I do think it's interesting because there's been a change. It used to be that you couldn't start signing free agents until the first or second week in July. But now, as soon as the NBA finals end, teams can re-sign their players or extend out their players or negotiate contracts with current players on the roster. So we should know what Donovan Mitchell and that future is going to look like for him very soon after the end of the season. So I think by maybe the second or third week of June, we'll probably know whether he's going to be a Cleveland Cavalier or not. If I'm him, I say don't sign. I say, you know what, if they trade you, because they're not going to get, you're not going to be able to get anything for him if he stays. I say, you know what, trade me. I'll play 1 year. We saw what happened with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard didn't want to re-sign with the Spurs. The Spurs traded him to the Toronto Raptors. He won a championship with the Raptors in that 1 year, and then he moved on, went to the Clippers. But I think that, to me, for Donovan, that makes the most sense. You go ahead, you trade me, and then we'll just go from there.
So, as summarized with Donovan Mitchell, Deshaun Barnes is always on it. 502 Way Go Sports. Deshaun is always on the nail in the coffin.
I gotta stay on top of it, Jay. There's a lot happening. It's afford to be the off season, man. There's just so much happening. There's so much going on. You got golfers getting arrested. You got all kind of crazy stuff going on.
I couldn't say what I wanted to say on real radio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As I looked at the whole scenario, looked at the whole thing, here's another thing. There's nothing to Deshaun.
Yes, sir.
That there was a death that happened out there. Somebody got killed.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, the man got struck by the shuttle.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, this golfer, early in the morning, pouring down raining, cool, make a long story short. And
yes, sir.
Probably have a rotation of what they do by teeing off a little bit, practicing, whatever. And Louisville Metro Police. I always say, I always say what I say. I'm not going to say it now because I don't like it right now. How do they do it? Louisville's finest.
Yes, sir.
Like that a long time ago, aggravated with the police, and I got aggravated, didn't know how the way he was talking, approached me, Things happen because you're person. I mean, you're individual.
Yes.
Things happen.
Absolutely.
You say things out of content. Okay.
Yes.
Gets locked up. Charged with several different charges. One was assault. Two, that's a felony.
Felony. So, yes.
Chris Romaine, good friend of mine, I know it's attorney. Going to bat for
Steve Romines.
Okay, Romines.
I know Chris Romaine.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
So anyway,
I know what you meant.
So anyway, I do not like Commonwealth fraternity.
Yes.
He should have been here on the 21st for court and blah, blah, blah. The man said, look in there. He said, the guy asked him, he said, what do you think about Kentucky? What do you think about Louisville, PJ, blah, 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 one and all that? Man, Rashawn, he broke it all the way down. I would have said exactly what he said.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a movie, Broke Down Mountain. Kentucky, uneducated Kentucky people. And I felt bad for him, man. Seriously. He said if it was Tiger Woods, it'd be a different ball game.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the timing of the event. It was unfortunate that the incident that happened in the first place. I just really wish cooler heads would have prevailed. Like that was my biggest thing. The biggest thing was this was more than likely. I mean, first of all, the fact that there's an incident in the first place. We understand that Louisville does not have the best name right now in the professional community, especially professional sports community. University of Louisville got knocked down several pegs in terms of the NBA to Louisville efforts because of the Breonna Taylor handling. Okay, and they went from being probably the second most likely city to get a new NBA franchise. They went from second to like fifth or sixth, and that really derailed a lot of momentum. So much so that the next two teams to get NBA franchises they've announced is going to be Las Vegas and Seattle. Okay, Louisville is going to get one of those teams. So that really put Louisville behind the eight ball. So the unfortunate thing is now you have the PGA come here. Now you have another incident. It's really just hampering the opportunities that Louisville can be a host city for a lot of these major sporting events. And I hate that because Louisville is a great big event town. People come out, they celebrate it, they know how to handle big events, and they do an awesome job with it. I mean, the PGA was amazing. Everything that was going on out of Valhalla was amazing, and it was an amazing time. The support was awesome and outstanding, but it's unfortunate that we had to get to this point because now you get the news that they start looking into old boys past and looking into previous stuff, and you find out he's doing donuts in the parking lot with drunk dudes in the car, and what?
So what?
But the thing is that this is what happens when you move forward. Like I needed somebody to have some foresight to see, what? Let's go ahead and squash this now because ain't no good gonna come out of this. And that's the thing that I feel was unfortunate was that there was nobody there to say, let's be smart about this and let's not let this go this way. And that's the one thing that I would really hope and I would really like to see is us to do a better job of just making the smart choice. The choice that's going to put everybody in the best light possible. And it's just, I hate that it happened. Like I just hate it all the way around. But now we're getting all this new information, and it's looking bad for the officer that made the arrest, and it's looking bad for the city getting the PGA to come back. And here we are.
I doubt for them to be back.
Because
you got to look at the twofold kind of situation, Rashawn. You got the upper lot.
It looked like a lot of grandstanding to me. It looked like a lot of people trying to make a name for themselves.
They don't like a lot of things out there.
Yes.
They cover a lot of traffic up.
It's a mess, man.
It's just a sore eye to the PGA Tour here in Louisville.
It's unfortunate, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? It's just an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate situation.
I'm doubtful to be back again here at Louisville.
Yes.
The PGA Tour. Sorry they won't be back the next 10, 15, 20 years. So, you have to do what it do. Tiger Woods will probably never come back.
Yeah, it's
appearance for the Kentucky Derby, whoever the PGA golfers, whatever comes to Kentucky Derby or whatever, they may not come to Louisville.
That's reputation. I mean, and like I said, Louisville just doesn't have the best reputation in those communities and in those circles right now. And that's what I hate about it because I love these big events that come here because we just do so well with it. I mean, we had boxing here. We had Evander Holyfield bring his boxing here. We did really well with that event. When the McDonald's All-American came here, American game ever was here at the Freedom Hall. That's the thing, man, is that Louisville knows how to do big events, and they always do great with it. So, anytime you get to showcase the city, it's a good thing. And it just, the fact that we're here and, we've gotten to get to this point is unfortunate, but hey.
But, we haven't did this podcast in quite some while, about, 2.5 months?
Yes, it's been since the end of March. It was the last time we didn't get one in April.
We didn't really tell everybody how our Kentucky Derby went.
Yeah,
who we saw,
absolutely.
Who we took pictures with, who we interviewed with, and who we shook hands with.
I mean, big shout outs to the Gallup Gala, big shout outs to Unbridled Eve, big shout outs to the Phillies and Stallions, the Trifecta Gala, all those great sponsors and all those great charitable organizations that are part of that Down Syndrome of Louisville. Big friends of Main Event Sports as well as Wake Up 502. First class events, first class people. Shout out to Tretch and Naughty by Nature. Got to kick it with him for a little bit. Got to interview so many great stars and dignitaries on the red carpet. That was amazing. Your favorite person, Heather French Henry,
that's my girl.
which is always your favorite interview.
She's one of a kind.
Absolutely. Warren Moon was in the building. I mean,
just so many of them. Different stars came out this year.
So many different stars, so many folks that just want to be around it, be around it. And of course, with Main Event Sports, we've been doing this, man, for 13, 14 years with it, as long as I've been there.
15, almost 20 years.
Yeah, almost 20 years. But we're
going to cover next year Down Syndrome. We're going to stream it live.
Yes. Yes, we're going to do that. They want us to go ahead, set up, stream it live, be able to talk to some folks, so you all will be able to catch that. Hey, the podcast is moving up, y'all. Like you got to understand, like the podcast movement. I appreciate all you folks that are watching. So many folks watching across Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube right now. So big shout out to you guys.
Listen,
we all make it possible.
Today is actually a 4-day holiday.
Yes.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Well, it's 5 to me.
Well, for me, it's a 3-day holiday. No, I start my holiday today out here. And actually, the holiday really starts as soon as we get off the microphones, because tonight, if you're not out here yet, 4521 Bardstown Road, it's going to be going down karaoke night. Y'all get to hear Jay has sing some Billy Ocean. You know what I'm saying? He's going to... Jay is gonna come out here and sing some Leslie Sebastian Charles for everybody. So you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be going down. So y'all don't want to miss that.
Imagine that. God damn it! I'm just
kidding. Queen.
Hey, I'm better looking than Billy.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Get that Jerry curl, it might be all right.
Here's another thing, though, too. I wanted to address this. We got to talking about sports, and this sports show,
yes, sir,
have done so much for over 20-some years.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We've been in a lot of prestigious places, events. We cover so many local and international sports. We've been on the road with it.
Yeah. And had the opportunity to highlight a lot of great local establishments and great organizations.
I've never in my life, in the last 30-something years in my business, I've been in radio.
Yes, sir.
That I've never seen a sports show do due diligence that I have seen right now. And I don't too.
No. Hey, the one thing that we've always said, and I stand on business, that's what the young folks say, I stand on business when I say this, is that we like to give opportunities for everybody that has anything going on in terms of organizationally, if they have events coming up, if they have things going on, or if you just are interested in the radio business. If you want to come out and sit in on the show, I always keep a microphone open for folks that want to come out and just try to hand at it. I always keep an open door policy. I told you, it's like the Anytime Championship, you know what I'm saying? The Hardcore Championship in WWE was always on the line. It didn't matter where you were with that belt. As soon as somebody came out and brought the referee, there was a match. So, that's the way I do radio, is like the hardcore match. I told anybody, look, I got a microphone for you, and if you wanna test the champion, come on, sit down. We're gonna chop it up.
I say this well too, since I'm at WLOU 147.
Yes, sir.
That if you want to come and do some internship, or you want to do some working on the console board, learning the board or whatever, there's
absolutely
opportunities for that.
One of our interns is now the most successful producer over there at 96.1 FM, Mr. Roman Kelly, who may be joining us here in hour number 2.
Kelly.
You know what I'm saying? Roman, hopefully he's going to be able to get out here before we go off the air. He's going to come check us out. He's not been to a live show yet, but that's a perfect example, right? Roman wanted to get involved. He wanted to come out, learn the board, learn the radio business, and now he has a job working for one of the biggest stations in the city. That's what we do. We put our money where our mouth is, but we believe in giving back to the community.
See, that's another thing.
You know,
during the holiday season, we give back to children, the people who are less fortunate than me and myself.
Absolutely.
That we give back toys, turkeys, chickens. We do it I've done it for so long.
Oh yeah.
But those are.
Jay has got more turkeys than old McDonald.
Oh man, you better believe it. Where your heart is, man. Where you work so due diligence throughout the year, then you get back on the holiday season when you ask people to help. Come and support what you do.
Absolutely.
Get involved and make a difference in other people's life for the holiday season. That's what we've done. That's what 502 and Main Event Sports and myself has done for years.
Yes.
And that's what makes this sports show so significant and so personalized and so real.
Absolutely.
You said we have open door policy. Man, we have done so much to so many people, man.
Impact people, change lives, reach out, touch people. You know what I'm saying? Make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes make people cry.
Oh, yeah,
do a little bit.
I tell you, probably
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
One of the best shows I ever done.
Yes, sir.
One of the best shows I've done with you. There's so many of we have done. We did a story on about Manual Force.
Yeah.
And we did a story on the late Jeff Ellis, did a story on. My brother Jerome has it about the football career and other guys who've done due diligence in sports. And I mean, the story was so real. People was calling us and telling us about what a good job we did. We didn't really get into it deep enough, but now we learned so much about it. Now we go sit back and say, "Hey, man, do what we did 10 years ago."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We'd have had people laugh. We'd have cried.
And speaking of which, man, one of the most favorite people that we've ever had on our airways, Mr. Fred Cowgill. Shout out to Fred Cowgill. For those that don't know, Fred Cowgill's last broadcast was tonight, 6:30 p.m. WLKY hanging it up.
Best sports anchors in the country.
One of the best to ever do it.
We had him on, man, and just that voice that he has, man, and just the phone lines just jumped off the hook when he heard his voice, man.
Hey, for Fred Cowgill is one of the smartest sports people. Like I said, man, Tuesdays with Fred, listening to Fred Cowgill and Bob Valvano chop it up, man, for all these years. It's one of my favorite segments in all of sports radio, and trust me, I listen to a lot of sports radio, but they're both so smart, they're both so intelligent and thoughtful and funny.
I had to cut into somebody's winning a lot of money over there.
Well,
he's got this money.
And shout out to Shirley's Way.
Somebody got all this money in front of me. I'm just so excited about all this money that's in front of me.
So
you got to know if it's cool. Shout money about hey, sir, you mind buying us some cool?
Shout out to Shirley's Way. They have the great the slot machines over here. So come out here and not only can you get good food, Miss Chris is gonna hook up the drinks, but we also got the slots over here for Shirley's Way. They go and benefit a greater organization.
Let me tell you about Miss Chris real quick. When I met this lady, she was so passionate, so sweet, so nice.
Yes, sir.
She worked so hard to do diligence.
Absolutely.
And she made some of the baddest drinks, but she made some of the good food as well.
Now you better believe it. I'm saying buffalo wings.
But you know the most important thing is her heart, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, how she was more receptive of what she does.
Absolutely.
And people keep coming back and so a lot of love.
I'm telling you.
But I'm trying to talk about this guy here. He keeps putting his money
over there. He's over there. Just kid on them slots. Hey, the slots is lively tonight, y'all. Y'all might want to come out. I'm telling you, it's going down. But no, Miss Krista is literally one of my favorites. Every time I see her, she's always smiling, even regardless of whether she's back there pulling double duty and hustling, and she's dropping fries and pouring drinks and then going back checking on pizza. Yeah, she's doing it all. So no, I appreciate her and just everything. You know, even with as busy as I've been with my knucklehead son and his basketball schedule, so we haven't been able to get in here.
So now
but she always takes care of us.
Attention in that. All this money going out. I mean, it's like
that's Ted DiBiase. That's $1 billion man right there.
You know what's so funny? That I've been in radio for 30 years, and I did a couple things with Jerry the King Lawler.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Had a chance to do a couple.
Nashville's own.
Yes, but Memphis.
Memphis. My bad, Memphis. I want to get
did a thing with him. We did a remote. We did at the River Gardens.
Yes, sir.
Jerry the King Lawler, Bill Dundee. Make a long story short. And man, I'm telling you, man, it's just how the way the crowd receives him, man, of all his career, what he's done.
Oh yeah.
When he got to the WWE, he did the commentating and all that. That was good at what he did. But man, he got too many things up in his head, man. They've been dogging him, but that's why he's the king of Jerry Lawler.
You mean to throw a fireball?
I love that, man. I love that.
Well, that's old school wrestling, man.
Jerry the King Lawler at the Louisville Gardens. Back in the early.
Oh, you better believe. Hey, man, it was going down at the Gardens on a Tuesday night, brother. It was going down. You know what I'm saying? They were always like it.
All this winning, all this money.
I'm telling. Hey, the slots are
somebody.
The Shirley's Way slots are popping tonight, y'all. So come on out.
You get in church, shake somebody's hand. I got the song go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reach out somebody's hand.
So in the second movie tonight, y'all, I'm telling you, come out for that day. Billy Ocean is coming. It's coming. Or maybe a little Lou Rawls. We don't know.
Why you keep thinking about these old regular bands? Give me some somebody is decent looking, man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Reach out and touch.
Look at him. Now he wants to sing. We've been trying to get Jay up there. Jay ain't been doing the karaoke much.
Man, I just love watching people do what they do, man.
Absolutely, man. No, it's been fun, and these times right now, Jay. I know we're kind of at the end of our active season, so that's why I'm so happy that we're still able to get out here, 2 more shenanigans, and do what we do and be out amongst the people. We get to chat. We need to get to chop it up. And just be out amongst all the great sports fans here in the city. So, very, very excited and appreciative to be here. Very happy and excited to talk about what's coming up next. There's a lot happening. There's a lot to get ready for. The University of Louisville football team put out their 100 days, now 99 days until the kickoff of the season. I know that we are into not necessarily football season, but once you get to the countdown, you know that the next year is right around the corner. Louisville's been doing that countdown for the last several years. I get excited, man.
During football season, man, I get in shape.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of walking.
You better believe it. Absolutely, a lot
of walking. You walk so fast too.
Hey,
can you slow up?
No. We're moving, and then shout out to Jeff Brom, shout out to Brian Brom, shout out to everybody over there. At the football complex over there at the University of Louisville. People are very excited. There's a lot of people that are saying that University of Louisville's got a top 25 football team. Yeah. I saw they put out odds. They put out Vegas odds, and Louisville had the 7th highest odds of making the college football playoff next year. This year coming up is going to be the first year of the college football playoff, having the 12-team format. So, we're going to get to see the top 2 seeds have a bye in that first round, and then all the other teams playing in the first round. So, very, very excited to see how that whole deal goes. Very excited to see Tyler Shuck, the new quarterback for the University of Louisville. The transfer that came over from Texas Tech. Louisville has got a lot of talent.
Talking about football, and I just wanted to send a couple shots out to Lamar Jackson's got a new addition to the family.
Absolutely.
Got a new baby.
Action Jackson.
I don't know the name of it is. I'm sure it's Action Jackson the second. So I want to send a shout out to London Hazard. Today's her birthday.
Oh, there you go. Absolutely.
My granddaughter. And I got Elia. I can't think of his middle name, but anyway, Hazard is his last name. My son's youngest edition.
Yes.
So we're going on barbecue Sunday.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Very nice.
4-day weekend.
Well, since you're going to give a shout out, I got to give a shout out to my son. Last Friday, this time last week, we were at a graduation over there at Bellarmine University, celebrating Holy Cross, class of 2024. Cameron got it done. He crossed that stage. So now it's time to get ready. For those that don't know, Cameron committed. He'll be playing basketball at the University of Campbellsville in Harrisburg. So it's time to get ready for the basketball season. And in his prep to get ready for basketball season, he actually went out and won the 6th Region High Jump Championship.
My nephew graduating from Shawnee today.
Yeah.
He's got a scholarship to JUCO.
Absolutely.
I want to say congratulations to all the young people who's graduating.
Yes, a lot of folks are walking today. Congratulations going on all day today.
Elementary.
Yeah.
Congratulations to all you young people who are doing jumping to the
Hey, let me tell you something, Jay. Ain't no better feeling than the last day of school.
Oh, man, you better believe it.
When you were walking out of that school and knew that this school was out for the summer, man, that was the best day. Like, I've never had that feeling recreated as an adult, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, I'm trying to think of anything that felt that good as the last day of school.
Oh, let me tell you.
And I don't think there's ever been anything.
I was like a big kid.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you're done, woo!
We're going to have, this is May, June, probably in July, 4th of July weekend. I've got to tell you this. I'm going to surprise you with it. I might surprise you anyway. Don't say that now.
Okay, what we got?
Going to have a Wake Up 502 swim party.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
No, I like that.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna surprise the thing about with this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't just help yourself. You just gotta tell it all.
Yeah. You always got something. You always got irons in the fire. You always got something cooking.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
I know how you do.
About tomorrow, wake up 5:02. Get the rest of the details tomorrow. The number one sports show from 9 a.m. to noon.
That's right. 9 to 11 a.m.
To 11 a.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 96.1 FM. It's going down tomorrow morning. Wake up 5:02.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited, about this college football season, NFL. I just cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Hey, it's there is so much happening that you have to be excited for. With little football and what they're doing, the team that they're going to put out there on the field. What Louisville basketball is getting together, getting Pat Kelsey ready. And even what Jeff Walls is doing with the women's basketball team, top 5 recruiting class, one of the best teams in the country. They're already getting preseason top 15 hype. So no, I mean it's so much happening, so much going on that it's nothing but good stuff, right? It's nothing but good things happening. With Louisville athletics, with the city, and I think that's going to be like the next step. And I did want to. Kind of to jump back into that because I do think there's a couple of things, and I'm teasing what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow morning on Wake Up 502, Jay. But I wanted to talk about the comparison, the showdown. Everybody wants to know. There's been a lot of talk. Okay, there's been a lot of talking from the big blue side. And the Kentucky folks saying that Mark Pope is going to wipe the floor with us, and we ain't gonna know what to hit them. They got Amari Williams, and they got Otega Oweh, and they got Kobe Brea, sharpshooter from Dayton. They said Louisville don't want nothing to do with this. So I like.
Have you ever seen Clint Eastwood just lay down and say, "Hey, come on and kill me and whoop my tail"? You ever seen that happen?
No.
Okay.
No, I ain't never seen that.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, so are you saying that you feel good now? Like, do you think there's a lot of Kentucky folks that were happy that John Calipari was gone?
It's okay.
Like, are you one of those folks? Are you are you happy that Calipari is gone? Like,
Yeah.
You like all them 5-star Americans in Kentucky, didn't
Yeah. Before you get off the radio.
Yes.
Podcast. Let everybody how to get on to us. They can check us out right now. When they go to Twitter, how to get on.
Absolutely. There's several ways to get involved and get down with what we're doing here. You can check us out on Facebook. That's at Rashawn. Then you can also check us out at Main Event Sports Radio. You can check us out on Twitter. That's at sign RAASHAAN, as well as Main Event Sports Radio on YouTube. So a lot of different ways and a lot of different streams going down where you can check us out and check out all the things we do, as well as Main Event Sports. Well, you can go to maineventsportsradio.com, but you can also go to wakeup502.com as well to check out all that we do. Check out replays of our most recent shows and everything else. So there's plenty of ways to get involved and get down. And of course, again, we'll be coming to you tomorrow morning live, 96.1 FM, starting at 9 a.m.
Wow. It sounds real early. It is early.
Hey, that's why it's Wake Up 502. That's what we do. We're waking up everybody.
Congratulations to a good friend of mine, Mr. Brian Durbin, who got a prestigious award for one of his Arcadia assisted living communities.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Durbin. B. Diddy's a big fan, fan of ours, and a big friend of us.
P-Dog, one of your prestigious awards that you got the last couple of days, and really pretty good, man.
I love Brian Durbin, man. One of the biggest Louisville fans y'all ever seen. Let me tell you, you want to talk about how big a fan Brian Durbin is. Brian gets so stressed out watching the games, and sometimes he's one of them folks that's got to turn it off. He can't even deal with it. This man's got, I don't know how many season tickets he's got, front row and everything else. And he just walk out and leave. Let me tell you something. If I paid as much as Brian paid for tickets, I'm going to stay till after the game's over. I'm going to wait till they finish sweeping up just to make sure I got my money's worth.
Good guy.
I love Brian.
Congratulations on the prestigious award.
Absolutely, but not so. All right, so I'm getting your way. So you're saying, are you think like Louisville's roster? Maybe like
I love
Kentucky.
Louisville's roster right
You
now.
like Louisville's
I
roster?
like exactly what they could do on every position, from the 5, from the 4, from the 3 to the 2. I love it, man.
I can tell. I can
And
tell.
they athletic on
Every level.
every level.
They got speed. They got length. They got athleticism. They got guards. They got wings. They got post players.
Hey, Lord.
They just added their last big man, Frank Anselm, at eBay. You know what I'm saying? The kind of he's a guy.
Georgia.
Yeah,
He's athletic.
athletic, super athletic, a hard worker. You know what I'm saying?
Block shots, height. You remind me like a grown woman, just height.
You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna run, just run and just be wild. You know what I'm saying? He may not score a lot, but let me tell you something. He gonna come in, he gonna block a shot, he's gonna yell in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have a dude like that though, Joe. You gotta have, and that's the thing. You can't have all stars. You gotta have some garbage men. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have them physical dudes. Them guys that's gonna get in your face. That's why I like Anselm and I like Bubakar, Trey, because he's gonna get in your face. He's gonna knock you down. You know what I'm saying? The same type of crazy stuff you tell Cameron to tell them dudes when he get out there in the car. You gotta have a couple of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the physical enforcers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that. And I think that you're gonna have all of that this year, man. I'm very, very excited about where we're at with the program, with the team. Now, let me ask you something, Jay. Do you got a lineup for me yet?
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you got a lineup for me? Like, I know Hepburn is going to be a point guard. Can I at least say, Chucky Hepburn, do you like that point guard?
6'6".
Hepburn 6'3". 6'3", nice size for point guard. Does a little bit of everything.
I like that starting 5 that got out right now.
So you like, okay, so let's go with, okay, so we got Hepburn at the point. So who do you like at the 2 guard? Now we got Corin Johnson, who we talked about. That's the kid that came over from Washington, 6'3", 6th player of the year. Or Rain Smith, another 6'3", 6'2", 6'3 guard, big time shooter. Who do you like at the 2 guard? Or do you like both of those guys on the bench? You put Terrence Edwards Jr. at the 2?
I like James, the Madison guy.
James Madison, so Terrence Edwards Jr. So you going with the size of the 2, 6'6". Okay, so you going with Terrence Edwards at the 2? Okay, I like it.
3 guards, you know that, right?
So at the 3,
you see the 3 guards he got out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So then let me ask you: are you going with Javon Hadley at 3? Hadley's the 6'6" guard, 6'6" guard wing from Colorado.
I like the other guy.
Bubakar, Trey,
dark skin guy, the Toledo, the guy from
Long Beach State.
Long Beach State.
Okay, so you going with a Bubakar Trey? So you gonna put the wild man in there? Okay. So you got your demon at the 5. Okay, so then if you going with Trey, you going with Edwards, you going with Chucky Hepburn. So at the 4, you got what do you want? Do you want the 2 big men, or do you want, because you got Waterman, the kid that they just got from BYU, and you got
from South Florida.
Okay, so you're going to go with Kayshawn Pryor. So you're going with Pryor at the 4. And so who you going to have at 5? James Scott? You're going to have the big man from
Scott.
Okay, the big man from College Charleston, sophomore?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I like it. You like that athleticism.
Yes, sir.
Like, I think that, honestly.
The white men are with you.
Yeah, Waterman. Yeah. Waterman. Like, if that's your lineup, Jay, that's probably the most athletic lineup you can put out there, just about. If you got Hepburn, Edwards, Traore, Pryor, and James Scott, you're talking about a long, athletic lineup.
Man.
Okay.
And can ball. And can play defense.
Yes. Excellent defenders, long arms. Traore led his team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals last year. Like, the man literally did everything but sell popcorn. He was doing it all.
Wow.
So, I like that lineup. Now, for me, honestly, I think, personally, I like Hepburn. Okay? I'm going with Chucky. I'm going with Rain Smith. And I told you I like Rain Smith just because of the experience, the fact that he's been, he came over from Charleston. He was the leading scorer for College of Charleston last year.
Left-hand guy.
Yeah, the leadership, the shooting ability. So give me those two in my backcourt. I'm going to put Terrence Edwards Jr. at the three, the young man from James Madison. I think he's our best player. I think he's going to be the kind of the star of the team. At the four, I'm going to take Noah Waterman. I'm going to start with him from BYU. And then the center, I'm taking Kayshawn Pryor.
The dude from South Florida.
Yes, sir. So I'm going with the big, long three-point shooting lineup. Like I like that group. I think that group is going to give you the best shooting. I think that group is going to give you a lot of headaches on offense.
So where does KP go? What do you think he's going to do?
Hey, that's the thing that you love about this lineup, right? Like literally, we had three different starters in our lineup that different from each other. Like, and I think that they're going to have that type of versatility. And I think there's plenty of other guys. I think Javon Hadley could start. I think there's no doubt about that. I think Corin Johnson can start. I think there's no doubt about that. James Scott that you talked about, he can start. So, I mean, you're talking about a team that has at least 8 guys that you should feel comfortable starting.
I love what KP's doing. He's out recruiting some of the top kids in the country. I mean, he's getting some dogs out there. He's trying to get some. He's trying to get some.
That gives people PTSD when you say KP.
Well,
you don't want to see nobody start having seizures or nothing down here.
He's out there recruiting in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
That high school basketball tournament out there going on right now, and some of the dogs out there. God, man.
Hey, that's probably
out there a monster.
Like, let me tell you something. Pat Kelsey, that man, I don't know if he's in a hotel right now. He doesn't have a house here in Louisville yet. I know they're trying to finish up their year at College of Charleston with their kids that are in school before they get here. So he's living in a hotel, but I don't even know if he's sleeping in a hotel room. Like, I feel like he's like sleeping at the Louisville offices right now because the man never sleeps. He's out there recruiting. He's bringing in players for this year. He's out recruiting high school players. He's put out several offers already. Caden Magwood, the former, the former star from Western High School, who's now at Oak Hill Academy. From the class of 2025 to be a part of Louisville's roster. I mean, so like it literally never stops. Like, Pat Kelsey has a plan. It's been very fun to watch him work. Now I just want to, what I can't wait for, Jay, is to get everybody on campus so we can start hearing the buzz around the guys working out and practicing. Like, I want to hear about the summer basketball pickup game. Yeah. You feel me? Like that's the things that I like to hear.
What do you think about the coaching staff?
You know what? Coach Kelsey brought most of his staff over from College of Charleston. He's got another coach that he's very excited about that's coming over who is an international coach who has a lot of ties back to the Australia Basketball Association. That was one of the big reasons he was able to get Ali Khalifa and some of these other guys like Noah Waterman because of that relationship. But I like the coaching staff. I like Coach Harrison, who we brought over from LSU. I think that they've done a great job. They have a lot of young and hungry dudes. And that's the thing. It's like, if you're young and hungry and you're willing to put in the work, I feel like, Louisville's a place where it's very difficult to fail. Because you got everything else. Louisville's got the fan base. They've got the money. They've got the facilities. All you got to have is somebody who's willing to go out there and put in the effort. And if you go out there and you put in the effort, you're going to get a lot of good out of that. And I think that's what we're seeing with the team right now. Like that's the benefits of those labors. Like, instead of having a coach out there that's saying, "Oh, we can't get nobody, so I'm not even going to try." If you go out there and you actually have somebody who's selling the benefits of the program, talk about rebuilding the greatness that is the University of Louisville. Look at what you got. Look at what you got. You got a team that's ready. And let me tell you something, Jay. I don't know if you follow these guys on Twitter yet, but they've been talking a whole lot of smack. Like, they talking about, I saw a tweet from Terrence Edwards Jr. It's like, get your popcorn ready. That's what he said. He's like, hey, I'm telling you. So, like, I love the bravado. I like, the intensity. I like everything about what's happening. Like, I don't have, like, I give everything that Pat Kelsey's done since he got the job, I give him an A+. Like, I don't think you could have done any better. I don't think anybody could have done any better. Like, I know that we missed on some of those other coaches.
Yeah.
You know, they went out there and tried to say, get Scott Drew. Do you think Scott Drew could have done a better job putting this team together the way Pat Kelsey did? I don't think so. I don't think so. Michigan, from Florida Atlantic. I can't know his name escapes me. He's completely out of mind. But do you think that he would have done a better job?
No, sir.
No, I don't think so. Like, honestly, I think Pat Kelsey has done just about as good a job as could have possibly been expected. So, just very, very excited to see what he's done, to see what he has in store, and then just to see what happens next. Like I said, in my personal opinion, I think that they are done. There's been some people that have asked the question, with Louisville having two guys redshirting, is there a chance that Louisville may add another player and ask one of those red shirts to maybe pay their own way? I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that the coaching staff is very comfortable with who they got. And I think they're just going to go with what they got. Like, I mean, you got the young freshman in Connie Ruth. So what he's going to bring in terms of a young, athletic, just kind of a demon off the dribble, attacking the basket. You have that youth and athleticism with him. You have the size and the length, and you got the rim running threats. Man, I can't wait to say it. I can't wait to say it.
Ready to go.
Like, I cannot wait. Like, I'm ready to run through a wall, man. Give me some of them glasses. Them PK wear them glasses. I want some of them glasses. They said them glasses ain't cheap.
No.
They're like $300 frames.
Come on, PK. Stop.
I know. PK out there with these the designer Gordon Gottrell frames. You know what I'm saying? He's out there flossing. I'm like, but dang, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? But I like it. He plays it. He coaches. He talks with a chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It was very interesting to hear him. He was on with John Rothstein this past Monday, and was asked about he was asked about thoughts on the players, and you know what he said? He was like, tell me about Chucky Hepburn. Tell me about some of the other players that you're excited about. You know what he said? I'm not talking about nobody. I need to see these guys. I need to see my team. He says, I like my team. I like what we have as a unit. But he says, I'm not about to come out here and praise nobody. You got to come out here and you got to earn everything that's been given out here. And like, just that mentality. Like, he's coming in and he's setting the example right now. I'm not praising not a single man.
Well, he's setting the tone.
Yes. That you're going to come in here and work.
Sure,
well, people always talk about remember the old school battles they used to always talk about with University of Louisville. They talk about Crawford Gym. How they talk about it being 100 degrees in Crawford Gym, and these dudes is out here playing ball and everybody dunking on each other, and talking about your mama and everybody, granny and everybody else. Like, I feel like we're going to get back to that. When you talk about some of these battles, like, when you look at how many players that Louisville's got, how many competitive guys Louisville's got on this team, boy, they're going to be out there trying to kill each other. And I love it. I love the competitiveness, like all of that. You know what I'm saying? You just got to set that tone. And I will be interested. I know Kentucky has been waiting on to finalize their who is a scoring point guard from North Florida. He was one of the most efficient players in the country. He's down to a final three of BYU, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Kentucky has thrown the kitchen sink at him, trying to get Mark Pope trying to get him to commit. But the issue is that Chaz Lanier is from Tennessee originally, and his last visit was to Tennessee. So, there's a lot of, it's been real quiet, and Kentucky has been waiting for kind of their alpha dog dude. Like, UK has everything else. Like, we got Terrence Edwards Jr. first. We got our alpha dog guy out of the way first. UK's kind of worked backwards. They got kind of all the support players, but they hadn't really got that alpha dog star. And that's what they're looking for with Chaz Lanier as well as Jackson Robinson. Jackson Robinson was a player that played under Mark Pope at BYU. Right now, he's going through the NBA draft process. So, they don't have that star yet. So, Kentucky fans are a little nervous because Chaz Lanier hasn't committed yet. And Jackson Robinson, there's no guarantee that he's going to leave the draft. So, there's a possibility that if Chaz Lanier decides, hey, I'm going to Tennessee, and Jackson Robinson says I'm going to stay in the NBA draft, then they're kind of back at square one trying to figure out who's going to get that last spot. So, we'll have to see. Like I said, I like what Kentucky's done with the roster. I like what Mark Pope has tried to do to get some talent out there. I like the big man from Oklahoma State, the big athletic guy. They have some nice pieces. I don't necessarily think their team meshes together as well as what Louisville has. Like I like how the part like Otega Owe, who's a scoring guard from Oklahoma, very very standout defensive player, but not necessarily the elite shooter like Pope likes to have. Like when you talk about, understand this: College of Charleston and BYU and Alabama, those are the three most prolific three-point shooting teams in the country. Okay, these teams shoot a lot of threes. They come down, they put it up. But the problem with Mark Pope's lineup, the way he has it set up right now, I don't know if the parts really fit, if that makes sense. Like they got a lot of good players. They got Carissa, the point guard from West Virginia. I talked about Kobe Brea, the big-time shooter from Dayton, who I really like. He's 6'7", really shoots the ball well. I think he shot like 47% from three. But the problem with Kobe Brea is, from what has been said, he can't guard a chair. So he's a very suspect defensive player. So that's the whole thing. That's one of the reasons why Kentucky fans call me and say I'm hating. One of the reasons why I say I like. Hi, how you doing? I'm doing all right. Talking basketball, so it's always a good thing. Absolutely, it's in here, Kentucky. That's what we do. But no, that's one of the reasons why I said I like Louisville's roster better than Kentucky's, is because while Kentucky has talent, it seems like they're going to have to choose. Do you want Kobe Brea for his elite shooting, or do you want to start Otega Owe because he's a standout defensive player? Are you going to start Kier Carissa because he's a better three-point shooter, or are you going to bring in, maybe this freshman from BYU because he's a better defensive player? There's a lot of, you can have one or the other. You know what I mean? You have a lot of men from Oklahoma State, big, strong, he can rebound, but he's not really a shooter. He's not really a scorer. Do you want him in there, or do you want Amari Williams, who's more of a complete post player, but he's a little bit smaller. He's not as athletic. He goes about 6'8". You know what I'm saying? So, that's the only reason. They have a lot of talented pieces, but I don't think the pieces necessarily fit together as well as what Louisville has. And I don't know. Well, we'll see. All I know is this. Last year, when we looked at where Calipari had Kentucky, UK was a 3 seed. They had the number one scoring offense in the country. They had, Reed Sheppard, who it looks like he's probably going to. Can you believe Reed Sheppard's going to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft? That's wild to me. When he was at I can't remember which county school he was at. When he was at the county last year, you could not have told me that kid was going to be a top 3 NBA pick. He literally was better in college than he was in high school. Reed Sheppard wasn't that good in high school. Reed Sheppard was a very good player, but he wasn't like that. So to see what they've been able to do, you got Reed Sheppard, you had Robert Dillingham, you had, we know what Kentucky was last year. Considering that Kentucky was up here, and Louisville was one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in all of college basketball. To now see that both Kentucky and Louisville are right here, in my personal opinion, they're both about right here. Kentucky's come up, down from there, and Louisville's come up from here. So now both of these teams are pretty much in the same spot, and it's go. It's like I love that. Like just the fact that we're in the conversation to say who's better between Louisville and Kentucky is crazy to me, considering where these two programs were last year. So like I said on the last show, thank you John Calipari for going to Arkansas, because I really and truly felt. I know that everybody gets tired talking about the talent with UK and the 5 stars couldn't get it done with Cal, but I'm telling you, that recruiting class that Calipari had, combined with who he was going to return from last year's group, man, they were going to have a monster this year. So I'd much rather take my I will take my chances. Like I know what was coming next year if Calipari was still there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The crowd agrees with me. So I'd much rather take my chances. So I'm in a good spot. I'm enjoying it. We're having a good time with it. So we'll see. We'll see, Jay. But I know we only got a little bit left in the show. I did want to ask you about Lamar Jackson. I want to ask you this. There's been a lot of talk about Lamar. There's been a lot made of the fact that Lamar Jackson apparently has dropped about 25 pounds. He's back down to playing weight of 205 pounds. He was around 225 or 230 last year. People are getting very nervous about that. See, he's coming over, showing me the Chiefs. Hold on, look, check him out. He's showing me the Chiefs hat, y'all. See, Chiefs Nation is everywhere. I start talking about Lamar Jackson. Here come the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't get away from him, Jay. I can't get away from him. Hey, but you know what? Hey, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Right now, hey. The Chiefs are the man. The back-to-back NFL champions. Like just my son's favorite team. Like I get it at home. I get it everywhere. But let me ask you, Jay. What do you think about the weight loss? 205. A lot of people say they think he's too small. They think he may get hurt. Do you think it impacts at all Louisville?
A lot faster.
Oh yeah. I think so.
I will say this about the 205 because it losing weight. But you got to look at the overall picture. That he's conditioning, he's working out, getting stronger.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of body fat that was. I think he'd be a better quarterback this year.
I mean, to me, when you see Lamar at 205, that means he's going to be at his maximum level of quickness.
Yes, sir.
So now you got King Henry in the backfield.
I haven't talked about taking.
So you got Derrick Henry, and you got a read option. So the defense has to choose between loading the box to stop Derrick Henry or chasing after Lamar Jackson. What you going to do? Like, what do you do with that?
It's going to be rough.
Rough ain't the word.
It's going to be rough.
Like, to me, that's crazy. Like, I feel like Lamar lost that weight anticipating that I'm going to get better running lanes than I've probably ever had in my career, because now everybody used to be worried about me. If you don't put 8.5 guys to stop Derrick Henry, you're not even going to tackle him. So now you got to worry about King Henry, and now you got Lamar being the secondary.
Last week in the bar, man, give me Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh, and
Oh yeah, the Pittsburgh fans is out there.
If you don't sit down somewhere, to me,
it's about Mahomes and Kelsey right now.
That's what it's about. Damn Pittsburgh.
I mean, no, I can't lie. Like the AFC North is going to be monstrous. I mean, I can't lie to you. They do got Russell Wilson there in Pittsburgh now. You got some players over there. You got Joe Burrow coming back for Cincinnati. He's back.
Yeah.
You got Deshaun Watson over there with Cleveland. They're back. So, I mean, there's a lot to worry about in that AFC North. The championship still, the AFC North championship still comes to Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. That ain't what we worried about. You know that literally The Ravens and the Chiefs kick off next year, week 1, Thursday night football. They made that announcement. The very first game of the NFL season. That's wild.
Yes, sir.
Like, I love that.
Yes, sir.
Like, I almost, it's almost like I almost have the feeling for this Ravens Chiefs game, the same feeling that I had. You remember when UofL and UK used to play the first game of the season back in the day? Like, it just gives you something to anticipate. And the fact that we literally get to kick off the season with Mahomes versus Jackson is wild. Like,
bring it on.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm very, very excited about it.
George Foreman and Larry Holmes and all that. Get it on.
Absolutely. They were talking to Zay Flowers, the standout rookie from last year for the Ravens. He said he still ain't got over that game. He still ain't got over that game. He's pissed off. He wants to get back. And they get the team that knocked them off in the very first game of the year. You get the Chiefs right back.
Take advantage of the game.
Man, I be unbelievable this year. But no, I agree with you. I don't think that the weight loss is really going to impact Lamar at all. I think he'll be fine. I don't.
Body fat off of him.
Yeah, I mean,
got that baby weight off of him.
Because he was big last year, and I think that was his biggest thing. Was that, to me, the biggest problem? He was still explosive and he was still elusive, but the problem with Lamar last year, he couldn't break the 50-yard run. You know what I mean? Like, he could get past the first level. That was a touchdown. He didn't really have that breakaway speed last year, carrying that 230 pounds. And I think it bothered him. I think it really bothered him that he couldn't. They said he has not been this size since his first MVP season back in 2019 was the last time he weighed 205. So, he's trying to get back down to where he was. He's back to flyweight.
Come and fly with me. Oh, Frank Sinatra.
Hey, well, we're going to see. But I tell you what, man, I appreciate you, Jay. I appreciate all these good folks out here. Once again, just to reset, we were out here, more shenanigans. Oh, looky here who came in the door. What's going on? Got a couple of famous famous local singers here in the building. You know what I'm saying? The architect of Caribbean conspiracy, Mr. Ralph Myers. and the amazing vocal stylings of Miss Sahara Myers /Waiters. Yeah, and probably half of y'all on the stream right now. She probably taught y'all at some point. Y'all was in class with her, so the Miss Waiters is in the building. So FYI, yeah, she's here. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They're like, for real, shit, So hey, 4521 Bardstown Road is going down. Come out here. We're going to be getting karaoke going here at 10 o'clock karaoke night here at More Shenanigans. Come out, get you a chili dog. The chili dog is amazing. The pepperoni pizza is personally my favorite. They have a cracker crust on the large pepperoni. It's amazing. I really like that. Buffalo wings are awesome. So definitely come right out here to More Shenanigans. And Jay, we hopefully are going to get you singing a little bit of Lou Rawls later on. So.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Oh, man.
It's going thunderstorm tonight, too.
So it sounds good, huh?
That's all. What's up?
Hey, now let me ask you something, Jay, because we haven't had a chance to talk about this. LeBron James and his son, Bronny. Why talk about Bronny James? Why talk about the Lakers drafting Bronny James? A lot of people say that he has been given a guarantee that if he is there when the Lakers pick in the second round, pick 55, that he's going to be a selection for the Lakers. What do you think about that? Like, LeBron, a lot of people are saying that LeBron is using his status and using his position to get his son a job.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't even know if he's getting 5 rebounds a game.
If I want to have my son
Yes.
up in the league like that, hypothetical, let's switch gears. I'm you.
Okay.
I'm Rashawn Myers.
Yes, sir.
And my son is Cameron. And Cameron, he decided to go to, to Campbellsville.
Yeah.
Son, do you really want to go there? Here's where they laying out the whole platform for you.
Okay.
Good. I want to go there, Dad. Let's sign the paper. Boom, boom.
Okay.
This is what it takes for your condition to get there for what you're trying to do with athletic.
Yes.
It'll make you lose some weight. It'll make you gain some weight. So it's a neural of all that, man. I'm going to do it with my son the best position that he can.
Yeah.
As a father.
Yeah.
And two, on the asset of that is that he's a grown man.
Uh-huh.
LeBron James' son going to do what he want to do.
Yeah.
But you talk about LeBron James.
Yes.
One of the best ever done it.
One of the best to ever do it.
So he kind of runs LA.
Yeah.
He's the head HNIC in LA.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
he's the man.
Whatever my son gives an opportunity to do, to go approach the NBA, I'm gonna make a way for him.
Okay, yeah, you done?
I mean, I don't know. I know you don't like LeBron.
I'm gonna pull out my
James.
best Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm gonna keep it real honest with you. If the Los Angeles Lakers go out there and waste a draft pick, and I'm literally going to say waste a draft pick on Bronny James, the Los Angeles Lakers are no longer serious about basketball. Well, they are into made for TV. Like this is what is it? The Hard Knocks is the series on HBO where they talk about the NFL team. Like the Lakers is out there trying to do a made for TV movie.
Well, let me just.
They're not serious about winning.
Well, okay. Rashawn, they didn't won NBA final. They didn't won that championship.
And not at all. Hey, I mean, seriously, like Bronny James did not start for the Southern California Trojans. You tell me a kid that could not start for his college basketball team deserves to be drafted into the NFL for a bad college basketball team today. Come on, son. Come on.
Like I said.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put my son in the best.
Now, I don't fault LeBron. I don't fault LeBron at all. You got to do you got to help get your child, put your child up. My issue is with if he did the front office at the Lakers, which had seriously entertained that. LeBron is 85,000 years old. The Lakers ain't winning no games, so what difference does it make if LeBron's on the Lakers or not?
No.
They was an 8 seed, man.
For a man to be his age, there's no other young man doing what he's doing.
Oh, that's good. You can get him a sponsorship with Vicks VapoRub.
You can talk about LeBron all you want.
They ain't winning no games.
LeBron has won championship with the Lakers.
He won a bubble championship.
I mean, no difference.
That's a bubble championship. That don't count. They didn't even have people in the stands. They had television stands. They got television sets in the stands. That ain't no real championship. You ain't have to go on the road and go win in Denver. You ain't have to go on the road and win at Utah. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's all I'm saying. That is an exhibition title.
Good championship,
That's an exhibition title. Is what that is.
Why not play with my dad?
That might as well have been a pickup league at the YMCA. There wasn't no championship.
That'd be tremendous to play with my son.
I don't disagrry with you. Hey, look, LeBron is doing what he should do as a father, and I don't mind him doing that as a father. But I say that Rob Pelinka and the front office at the Los Angeles Lakers would be absolutely foolish to draft Bronny James.
I'm sure a lot
for geriatric LeBron James to come back one more year.
A lot of bad decisions. I'm sure they have down the road. That's not just one because LeBron James' his son.
You know what I think they should do? This is what they should do. How about this? Here, you want a story?
So you go ahead. What's your scenario?
I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Go ahead.
I feel like the Los Angeles Lakers should reach out to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where LeBron is from. They should negotiate a deal because Donovan Mitchell ain't signing no extension with them anyway. Trade Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers for LeBron James and a package. Let Cleveland draft Bronny James. Cleveland loves LeBron anyway. You have LeBron come back home. He gets to play in Cleveland, won last year. They can go ahead. They ain't serious about winning no way. They can bring Bronny James and do whatever they want, and the Lakers can set themselves up for success and move on. You got AD, Donovan Mitchell, and a cast of others out there in LA, and they can get back to winning. What you think about that? Win-win. How is that not a win-win for everybody? LeBron goes back home, his son get drafted. No one cares about Cleveland, no way.
I don't really care about Cleveland.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't care for Cleveland. So I live in Cleveland. So I live in Cleveland. So I don't know.
Like to me, I think that's the best. That's the best scenario for everybody.
I didn't live that very long anyway with all that cold weather.
See, I'm saying exactly. No one likes Cleveland. People that live in Cleveland don't like Cleveland.
Cold weather in Cleveland.
Except for Drew Carey.
Man, off at oceans, off at lake.
Oh yeah.
Man, that water ain't no joke. But anyway, I'm a LeBron James fan. I always will.
I know.
You know, Mikey.
I know.
That's your opinion, sir.
You're absolutely right.
You got to voice your opinion.
But yeah,
my opinion.
I just don't think you. I don't think you should draft.
Like I said, that's on you, and that's your opinion.
That'd be ridiculous.
That's all
I'm saying.
If it was me, I'm putting my son in the best position that I ever possibly could put my son in.
But I'm talking about, what LeBron.
It doesn't matter what you say.
You know LeBron don't draft for the Lakers. He's not the general manager. You do know that, right?
Sure.
Oh, he's a manager. So you think he's making the picks and everything, don't you? No, he's old and seen that. He's ready for the old folks home. He can't be making the decisions on management. Come on. That's all I'm saying. He's an old man. But I don't.
Hey, Pops. I'm sick of it, man.
Hey, just wait till tomorrow morning.
I'm going to say this. I'm really in my rare form in the morning.
Just wait till the morning.
I did everything on that show, cussing everything.
I know. Jay had me looking for the dump button and everything. I'm like, Jay, you been doing radio for 50 years and you gonna come on my show? You're like, I'm like, well, you got real good and comfortable, didn't you?
You want me to talk about LeBron James?
I know. Hey, I already know. They call him the king. I'm gonna call him the prince. I ain't call him the king.
Okay.
Prince James.
Prince James.
Jordan is still the king. Jordan is still the king, sorry. I understand that. Jordan is still the king.
That's debatable.
Hey.
That's debatable.
But no, I tell you what, man, we gonna wrap up this
35 or 17 Bardstown Breckenridge.
From 4521 is right. See, this is right there. If you're looking at our beautiful broadcast, 4521 Bardstown Road, more Shenanigans. Amazing time. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out. Thank you to all the folks who got a huge showing on the stream. So appreciate you guys for joining us on the stream for this 2-hour broadcast. Make sure you continue to check us out. WakeUp502.com. We will be on tomorrow morning. 96.1 FM WXVW Big X Sports Radio for Wake Up 502 with Rashawn Myers. You got Roman Kelly. He will be in the building. Haven Harrington will be in the building as well. So make sure you check us out there. We will be getting into more in-depth conversation on the roster, depth charts. We're going to be getting into a lot of these happenings. Do you got any favorites in this NBA playoffs? Who do you think the Timberwolves going to get it done? They lost to the Dallas Mavericks. They play game 2 tonight. Will the Timberwolves get one back, or is Dallas going to go up 2-0?
Dallas going 2-0.
Oh, you think two wins on the road? Kyrie too much for him? He looked good in game 1.
Yeah, he looked good.
Luka and Kyrie are a real deal. So, we'll have to see what happens with that. Who do you like in the other series? Boston, is Indiana done? Like, Indiana should have won game 1. You think Indiana done?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, I think Indiana is in the same position in this series that they were in the series against New York, where they had 2 games that were very winnable. In New York, they ended up losing both games, but they went back home and they won both. They won both games in Indiana, reset that series, and then Indiana was the better team down the stretch. I think we can see the same thing happen against Boston, but that game 3 is going to tell the tale. Indiana has got to be able to go back home in game 3 and get that done in Indianapolis. If they can get that game 3 in Indy, I think we got a series. I think it's going to go 7.
We'll see.
So we'll see. We'll see. But I tell you what,
Memorial Day weekend.
United States Marine Corps in the building. It's going down on Memorial Day weekend. So shout out United States Marine Corps. My daddy was an Army. He was a gun. He was a same gun. So shout out to you. Shout out to the Army. Shout out to Air Force. Shout out to the Navy and all of the other armed services, Coast Guard, and everybody around the world. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for everything that you do to protect this country and its freedom. So this is Rashawn Myers for Jay Has.
No struggle.
There is no progress. Peace.